A very good evening to all of you. It is such pleasure and an honor to perform for Dhwani always, and I thank Shankar and the faculty of Ottoman University as well. Thank you all for being here. Shankar wanted us to talk about the role of the violin and the mridangam in a Carnatic music concert. In a typical South Indian Carnatic music concert, meaning Carnatic music vocal concert, you have a vocalist, you have a violinist, and you have the percussion, which is the mridangam, along with another instrument, maybe the kanjira or the ghatam. So it's very interesting as to how all of us come together on stage and present to you different aspects of what Carnatic music can boast of. Indian music in general has a common characteristic, a very, very typical characteristic that makes it very special and very different from the other musical systems of the world. The notes are the same. You have the same 7 notes in any musical system all over the world. But what is it that makes Indian music characteristically, very, very distinctively different? It is the concept of the gamaka, or the embellishment of a note. In Indian music, which in Indian classical music, which comprises 2 major systems. One is the Carnatic music system that is practiced mostly in southern parts of India, and Hindustani music, which is practiced mostly in the northern parts of India. But you find Hindustani musicians in the south as well, you find Carnatic musicians in the north as well. But generally saying, so what is it that makes Indian music very distinctively different? It is the way that we handle the notes. So it is not just the notes that we sing. It is the notes are handled with slight oscillations. The spacing between notes is very important, and everything defines what is called a raga. So Indian music is predominantly raga music. By the term raga is a very abstract term, but what is a raga? Raga is the set of notes in a scale that take very, very specific moments. For example, if you take the major scale, the major scale in Western music as well. We say Sarigamapadani for the notes instead of Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. So Sarigama Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. This is the major scale, right? Now, for this scale to become a raga, that how we call it in Indian music. For example, in South India, in Carnatic music, if these notes can take specific oscillations, and the space between notes are handled in a very, very specific manner, the same scale transforms into what is called a raga by name Shankarabharana. So, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa. The general rule is Sa and Pa do not undergo any changes. But Re, Ga and Ma and Da and Ni they can take different types of combinations of what is called the gamaka, or the oscillations or the embellishments that a note can take. So the gamaka is very specific to the raga. So for example, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, very same notes, if sung like this, Sa, Re, Re, Ga, Ga, Re, Da, Ra, Da, Ra, Ga, Ma. I'm not singing Ga, Ma, Pa, Ga, Ma, Pa. There's something happening to Ma. So what is happening there? I am using the space between Ga and Pa in different ways. Ga, Ma, Pa, Ga, Ma, Pa. But Ga is Pa, Ma, Ga. Ga does not oscillate. And this is typical to Shankarabharanam. This is what makes the raga Shankarabharanam. Ta, ra, ra, re, ta na 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 ga ma ga re sa ni sa re ga. That is very important to Shankarabharanam. Now, with the same notes, sa re ga. If I oscillate this ga a little bit and sing ni sa re ga, the same notes, if I sing it as ta ra re, I'm singing ga ga ra re. You can see that I'm oscillating the ga ga There's a difference, right? You hear that difference, and that makes it a very different raga. It makes it Kalyani. This is the nucleus of Kalyani. This phrase transforms the scale into Kalyani. So, the gamaka or the oscillation defines the raga. So, in Shankarabharanam, you cannot sing you can't sing that in Shankarabharanam. Ta na ma oscillates. Ga is like that. Ga ta na na ra ri na. But whereas in Kalyani, same notes. Ra ri na na. So that oscillation defines the raga Kalyani. So, essentially, both in Hindustani music and in Carnatic music, the whole system is based on raga music. And what defines raga? The gamaka defines raga, or the oscillation defines the raga. Of course, there are stylistic differences which differentiate Hindustani and Carnatic music. With the same notes, they have the same ragas also sometimes. They share the same. For example, we have Kamavardhani and they have a Purya Dhanashri. But the way of singing the gamakas are very different. So that defines the system itself. For example, ga re ga ma ga re sa ni sa. This is the scale. Ga ma da pa ma pa ma ga re sa ni re sa. This is the scale of Kamavardhani. In South Indian Carnatic music, if you have to sing a Kamavardhani raga, you will have to sing it like this. Ta na na ta na na ta na na re pa ma ga re sa ta re na re ta ta na re. This is the sound of Carnatic music with these notes in the raga Kamavardhani. Whereas in Purya Dhanashri, which is the same, which carries the same notes but with different gamaka contours. Ta re re ra This is the sound of Hindustani music. So, the very sound that is defined by the gamaka, the very sound that is defined by the way of singing, differentiates these two great systems. So, each has their own raga structures, has their own gamaka structures. So, it's very important to understand the sound of both systems, the sound of Hindustani music and the sound of Carnatic music. So essentially today we will be talking about the system of Carnatic music in a Carnatic concert. And Carnatic music is a very interesting system because you have these ragas, and these ragas are showcased by several numerous compositions. So how do you get to know what these ragas are? You learn a lot of compositions. there are different types of composition. You have a varnam, you have a kriti, you have a padam, you have javalis, you have tillanas, you have the ragam tanam pallavi. So there are different compositional forms which showcase the raga in different facets. And so one learns all these compositions, and it is not just presenting compositions that are all preset or all already composed. In a concert, you also have the extempore section, the manodharma section. So you have the concept of a raga alapana, where you delineate the sound of the raga. You have Naral, where you take a line from a composition and explore on that and delineate on that. You have the kalpana swaras, which are rendered to a composition, where you present the swaras or the sulfa syllables in that raga according to the tala and the kalap or the speed of the composition as well. And you have tanam, which is a semi-rhythmic structure. It does not have a specific rhythmic structure. It does not have meaningful lyrics as well. It is just an exposition of raga in a semi-rhythmic fashion. And you have shlokam singing, which is taking up a verse and delineating it in a raga without the rhythmic element to it. So these are all extempore elements that you find in the concert. And Carnatic music is probably the only system where you have an equal share of both Manodharma Sangita, which is extempore music, and Kalpita Sangita, which is already preset music. So the combination of both is what makes Carnatic music very special. In a typical Carnatic concert, in a vocal concert, what happens is the vocalist, in fact, the seating is not like this as you see today. Tomorrow you will see the regular seating of a Carnatic concert. The vocalist is normally seated in the center along with the violinist and the mridangist, and the violinist and the percussion follows the vocalist in a Carnatic vocal concert. There are instances where the violin plays a solo performance. There are instances where the veena is a solo instrument, the flute is a solo instrument, with, of course, with the violin and the mridangam accompanying the flute or the veena as well. You have concerts, Nagaswaram concerts, where it's just the Nagaswaram and the tawil. Rarely you have accompanying the violin accompanying a Nagaswaram concert. So these are all instrumental concerts. In a vocal concert, the vocalist presents the compositions or the raga alapanas and everything, and the violinist shadows or complements the vocalist, and the percussion again complements and accompanies the rhythm that is set in the concert. Now, in a typical concert, as I said, Carnatic music can boast of so many numerous compositional forms. So, in general, there are exceptions to this rule. In general, what is called a varnam, you have compositional forms such as geetams, okay, which are rarely rendered in a concert, but there are geetams that are rendered in a concert as well. And we have the varnams. The varnams are of two types. One is a tana varnam, which is essentially, which gives you a feel of a singing tanam, which is, as I said, is a semi-rhythmic, even though the varnam is set in a typical tala structure. And another very important aspect of Carnatic music is the tala structure. And it has a very complicated and intricate tala structure. Tala is keeping time. You measure time in a particular way and you display the measure as well. So you have major talas, and for example, Adi tala is a tala count of 8. It's maintained like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is demonstrated in a specific manner. A Rupaka talam is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A Mishra Chapu, which is a count of 7, is demonstrated like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3 silent, 4, 5 silent, 6, 7 is silent. So it's demonstrated in a particular pattern like this. The 7, if it is demonstrated like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a 7 tala structure, but this is not Mishra Chapu. This is a different tala. Even though it has a count of 7, it is called a Triputa tala, Tishra Triputa tala. Mishra Chapu is a count of 7, but in this gate, in a combination of 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't put the 3, 1, 2, 3, I don't tap the 3 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Similarly, Khanda Chaputala, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 is silent, it's a cycle of 5. 2 is silent and 5 is silent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4. 2, 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. So it's demonstrated like this. So the tala structure is again a huge world of its own, and that is very important to the Mridangam language as well, to the percussion world as well. And Arun Prakash will talk more about it. And so these compositions that we present are all set to one of these talas. And in a concert, what happens is, generally, a varnam is rendered in the beginning. These are all general rules. There are definitely exceptions. It's not mandatory to sing a varnam in the beginning itself, but in most concerts you will find that. So we will now just, a varnam has 2 sections. One, a pallavi and anupallavi with a swara passage, then a charanam with multiple swara passages that lead to the charanam. So this is essentially a Tana Varnam, and sometimes it is sung in 2 speeds, sometimes it is sung in just 1 speed. So we will present a small Aditala Varnam in the raga Kalyani. This compositional form is called a Varnam. Because I am saying this because it will be distinctively different from other compositional forms that will be presented in the concert. And essentially, the role of the violinist is in a concert is to shadow the vocalist very closely. So the violinist has too many roles to play, has too many tasks to do, and the violinist also has to learn these compositions. It is not just enough just to understand only the notes of the composition. It is very important to learn the composition. And why I am saying this, we will see later. The violinist is expected to play as you sing. In an instrumental concert, it is different. A few people have other ideas. They say, like, they have other notions about playing an instrument. Why should you always showcase a vocal style when you play the instrument? You can explore the instrument in an instrumental manner. So that is a different thought process. I personally have grown up with my gurus, with all my teachers, teaching me and telling me, and it's my personal belief as well. So to play the violin is to play like the way you sing. So as much as how close you can replicate or how close you can bring out the vocal nuances on when you play is very important. So we will first present what is called a varnam in the raga Kalyani, set to Adi Tala. You should I think Eric, you just leave the phone, mic on. Yeah. You should closely observe how when she sings, the violin goes closely along with it, which means I have also learnt the varnam the way it should be. And of course, when it comes to the percussion, it is just not keeping rhythm or keeping the tala or just not going with the rhythm. He also sings very well, and he has learned the varnam also, because unless you learn the composition, it is very difficult to go along, because there might be unexpected twists and turns that you don't expect when you play along. So it's extremely essential for an instrumentalist, be it a violinist or a percussionist, to learn vocal music when you accompany a vocalist in a Carnatic concert. Varnam in a raga Kalyani. In case somebody might be wondering what this instrument is, this is called the tambura, and it is set to a particular pitch, and that pitch is the bass pitch on which the music happens. It is set to the pitch in the case of an vocalist. It is set to a pitch which is conducive for the vocalist's voice timbre. Now it is set to G, and all instruments are tuned to this pitch. So this is called the Shruti, and this instrument is called the tambura. Tambura by itself, it's a very, very fascinating instrument, and you hear multiple overtones when it is tuned beautifully, and all the music that happens on stage is all based on the pitch to which the tambura is tuned. So it's a very, very important instrument. half of the Varnam. As you see, it has a Pallavi, the Anupallavi, and it ended with some swaras. This is the first section. And you also have to observe when she sang Pallavi. This is a typical way of singing the Varnam. You have to enunciate all the syllables, all the vowels in the line. You can't sing. The word is just Vanajakshi. You can't sing it as Vanajakshi. Not like that. So all Vanajakshi, the R, the E, the O, everything is pronounced. So this is but a very, very specific way of singing a Tana Varna. And it has another section now. First line, you have swaras following this line. This is typically of Tana Varna. And you will hear this as per being the first piece that is present in the concert. But as I said, there are always exceptions. And you might hear other pieces being the opening pieces in a concert. A very important thing here is, what does a violinist do? A violinist, especially while you learn the composition or while you learn the raga, you also understand how to replicate or bring the sound of the raga in the violin. So it's essential for the violinist to understand the gamaka structure very, very closely. So you will see that I can demonstrate to you when she sings a kriti. A kriti, or a compositional form that has essentially three sections: the pallavi, the anupallavi, and the charanam. So the kriti is the most popular compositional form in Carnatic music, I guess. And we have several kritis by several composers. Of them, the compositions of three great people. Shyama Shastri, Tyagaraja, and Muthuswami Dikshitar, collectively known as the Trinity of Carnatic music, are of paramount importance. All of them lived in the same time period. Shyama Shastri lived between 1762 and 1827. Tyagaraja lived between 1767 and 1847. And Muthuswami Dikshitar, the youngest of the Trinity, whose 250th birth anniversary this year is, he lived between 1775 and 1835. All three of them were born in the same town called Thiruvarur in Tamil Nadu. And their contribution to the field of Carnatic music stands unparalleled to this day. It's not like there wasn't music before them or there isn't music after them, but their period and their contribution is considered the pinnacle in the history of Carnatic music. From their predecessors, from their gurus, and from their the generations before them, they have been greatly inspired, and they have taken so much from all those compositions, and coupled with their own creative genius, they have created compositions that have stood the test of time for so many years now and are still being rendered in so many concerts. And every other composer who has come after the Trinity to this date, not one single composer has escaped the magical influence of the Trinity. Every single composer has in some way or the other been inspired and influenced by the Trinity. And the Trinity compositions, we find a huge gamut of different types of ragas. You learn so much about raga, you learn so much about the words or the lyrical content of the composition known as the Sahitya. You learn so much about how it is structured in different talas, the different gates that these compositions are set to. And again, all of this showcases raga music. So, in a concert, we typically render a few kritis of the Trinity, and I will request Aishwarya to render a composition of Tyagaraja, the raga Kamas, that is again set to Adi Tala. And talking about the role of the violinist. So as I said, each raga has its gamaka nucleus, the DNA, which is very, very typical to each raga. So there are phrasings of the raga kamas which are very important to the raga and which make the raga. So when she sings these phrases, it's important that I replicate them exactly the way she sings. For example, I will ask her to render a raga alapana. Alapana is just singing the sound of the raga without any meaningful syllables. It's just akaras and like that. You don't spell the solfa syllables. There is no lyrical content here. There is no rhythmic structure here. But you have to enjoy the feel of the sound of the raga. The sound is extremely important. So when she sings a raga alapana and the violinist accompanies or follows the alapana, and this alapana is completely extempore. You have not rehearsed. And I don't know what she is going to sing in the raga kamas. You have to believe me on this. So she is going to really give me a test now, and I hope I will really pass the test. What I mean by passing the test is I have to replicate the same sound with which she renders the alapana. So a raga alapana of raga kamas before we go to the composition or the kriti of Tyagaraja in the same raga. First of all, like extreme essentials, like you have to have air, you have to have the sun, and you have to have food for you to survive, right? So these are like that. These extreme essentials, you have to be in Shruti always. You have to be in that Laya or Kala Pramana always. You have to be in that rhythm. You have to be in Shruti. You have to be aligned to Shruti. So the violin must be very, very finely tuned. A small history about the violin. The violin was not an accompanying instrument at one point of time. Probably India did have the technique of playing the violin like in a very in a raw fashion, I guess. They had, you can see reliefs of board instruments being sculpted in old temples in India. But nevertheless, this present shape of the violin, as all of you know, was definitely perfected in the West. And especially in the European countries, in Germany, in Czechoslovakia, in Italy, in France, and all these countries. And when the East India Company came to India, and when the British ruled India, the British had a huge band, and it is said that the brother of Muthuswami Dikshitar, Balaswami Dikshitar, learned to play the violin from one of the musicians in the East India Company band. And later they discovered that the violin could replicate the vocal nuances very, very closely, and it was modified. It was the tuning was modified to suit the Indian way of playing. The posture was modified. We never hold the violin like this, because it's very difficult to play the glides if you keep it like this. So they had to rest it on the somewhere, and they came up with this position so that you can play the glides that the music demands. And the tuning, again, it's not EF, EADG, even though it's the same strings that we use, but the tuning is very different. It is this third string is tuned to bass pitch sa or do. This is do re mi fa, so. This is the so of the upper octave. This is the so of the lower octave, and this is again do of the lower octave. Essentially sa, pa, sa, pa. So it is tuned to the whatever the pitch that the vocalist sings. So that is how it is tuned. It's not tuned in the Western fashion, and this provides this kind of tuning in the position and the way that we play. It really helps us play all the gamakas that the music really demands. So as you can see now, I will have to replicate whatever she sings in the raga kamas, and you have to closely observe the kind of contours, the kind of embellishments that each note can take. That is very, very essential, or very, very nuclear to the raga, to each raga, and in this case it's raga kamas. So she is singing. So I must. It is not just the swaras or the solfa syllables. It's how they appear. It is not. It is the very same ma that I am playing. That is ma. If I understand it as just ma ga sa ma ga ma. If I just translate like that into my mind, I'll end up playing something like this. And that's not what she sang. So she will definitely glare at me for that. Because it will be an impediment for her singing. So I have to understand that gamaka, what she sings. She sang. Or in the same, I cannot even play. She didn't sing it like that, right? Right? You sing it again. That's all she sang. She didn't sing it like that, right? So you closely observe what she sings and what I am playing. And when she sings longer phrases, I don't need to, because this is completely impromptu and I don't know what she is going to sing. So I just cannot, I have to intuitively play, but I just cannot go behind each swara. So when she ends that phrase, I play the tail end of the phrase. And so that she can take it forward from there. That is how you develop a raga alapana. Not necessarily same octave. I have that choice. And sometimes playing in the lower octave actually accentuates the experience. Observed, she was sustaining on a note. She sang that, right? So I should be sensitive enough to play like this. I can compliment her on the lower octave. So when she sustains on a note like that, I should not be playing like this. Not multiple bursts like that, because she is singing it in one breath and one long sustaining note. sing and how the raga is progressing, what kind of octave, how is she going to sing a faster phrase or a slower phrase. So while she can close her eyes and sing, I have to keep my eyes open and look at her and play. So I cannot take it for granted. So because all of this is extempo. So, and yeah, sing. Her exposition of the raga, the violinist normally gets an opportunity. So, when the violinist plays, complement the same, has to complement the same feel that the vocalist would have sung the raga. So, I get to play my share of extempo music, but in the same raga. So I will play something like this. I have to keep all the gamakas intact, which means I have to sing in my mind. That's extremely important. It is just not the swaras, but if I don't play this phrase, then it does not define kamas at all. So all my creativity cannot sacrifice raga. All my creativity is bound by raga. All my creativity is completely free also. There is no limit, but there is a limit. It's a very normally such a raga alapana is followed by a kriti in the same raga. So we will present a composition of Tyagaraja, the same raga, in Adital, 8 counts.
Sitapati na manasuna Sitapati.
You have to observe how I play, because I have to learn the composition also. I cannot just, because if I don't know the composition, I have to just sit quiet on stage. So in case she is going to, this composition I know, I've learnt it. But in case she is singing something in kamas which I don't know, then I have to kind of hear the line first time and try to go with her the second time. So very closely, like intuitively try to follow her. But if I know the composition, I should try to go along with her very, very carefully.
सीतापति नामन सुना सीतापति नामन सुना सीतापति.
This composition is already a preset composition. It's how it is a Tyagaraja's composition, and we render it the same way at all times. So these are all not explorative spaces. The raga alapana, which we heard first, that is on stage right now. But this is a preset composition.
सीतापति नामन सुना सीतापति नामन सुना सीतापति युन्नारुरा सीतापति नामन सुना सीतापति युन्नारुरा सीतापति.
Like lower octave. Finished the composition, and you heard the word Tyagaraja there, which is the signature of the composer. Okay, now she rendered the composition that's already preset, composed by Tyagaraja and handed down by his disciples and her guru, and she has rendered this now. Now she has another option. She can exercise her own creativity on stage now, right now. So what happens is, she will take a line from this composition, but the condition is she cannot go away from the tala, which is Adi Tala. She cannot move away from the rhythm pace or kala pramana. She cannot speed up, she cannot come down. She can take a line from this composition and she can delineate the same line in different ways in the raga kamas. She cannot sing another raga here. So this process, this element of extempore singing is called Naral singing. You take a meaningful line from the composition. So you essentially borrow a line from Tyagaraja. You tell him that, yeah, I've rendered your piece, thank you. So I'm going to take a line from yours and I'm going to do my own. So it has nothing to do with you, but it's inspired by your composition. So she takes a line from that composition and again passes it on to the violinist, who also has to keep the words in mind and play the same conditions, the same raga, the same kala pramana, same tala, and the takeoff point of the composition is also important. Here in this particular composition, the takeoff is not on the beat. It's not. For example, if she is going to take, are you going to take the line Prema Jo Chinapai? Because she will decide what line she is going to take. Prema Jo Chinapai. So Prema Jo Chinapai does not begin on the beat. It is not Prema Jo Chinapai. It's not like that. So it's 3 beats after the 1, 2, 3. Prema Jo Chinapai Pedda Manasu Jesi Prema. So it's 1, 2, 3 Prema in the lowest speed, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Prema the higher speed. Okay? And when you end every round of your exposition, you have to end it there. The takeoff point is also extremely important. You can't end it right on the beat. If you end it like that on the beat, then which means you don't know to sing Naral, or you have made a huge mistake there. So that is also extremely important. So Naral encompasses all these conditions. You have to be the same raga, you have to be the same tala, you have to be the same pace, you have to land at the same takeoff point, but you can sing whatever you want. So, and the violinist and the vocalist exchange ideas. That is Naral singing. A few rounds of Naral. And the mridangist keeps pace with all this, and we will come to his world very soon. I don't know what she is going to sing. This is extempore singing. You have to believe me on this. We have not rehearsed. Only if I keep the words of the line in my mind, then I can exercise, obviously on the violin I cannot make the words heard, right? So at least I can kind of give you a semblance of it. So what do I do for that? For every single syllable, I play a separate bow. So, Prema Jochi Napai Pedda Manasu Jesi. So there are 13 syllables in this line. I have to play a separate syllable for every. I have to have that cut in my bow so that you hear the syllables separately. So, Prema Jochi Napai Pedda Manasu Jesi. I cannot play I cannot just play. I'm still playing kamas. I am landing at the point. I am in the tala. I am in the pace. But this is bad Naral playing on the violin. Because I am not showcasing the sahitya, not showcasing the lyrics. Prema jochi na pai jochi pedda So this is a very important thing for a violinist to know. When you play sahitya, when you have to showcase the words, obviously you can't make the violin say the words. You can make it sing. This is also completely extempore. I am creating this music right now in this moment. A change in speed now between the previous exposition and this one. You see a change in speed, right? She sings the second speed now. So even when I play second speed, I have to keep the words in mind. So I have to change the bows as and when the syllables appear. Naral singing. So what follows this normally is she will actually say the solfa syllables of this raga in the way it is constructed. For example, this raga will not take a sarigama padanisa sanidapa magarisa structure. It is generally samagama nidani padanisa sanidapa. So in the ascent, it takes a samagama pa. It does not take a sarigama pa. So you have to keep all that in mind. So that makes the raga. There are rules as to what swaras can go in the ascent, what can come in the descent. Some ragas have all the 7 swaras in the ascent and the descent. So you have to know all that. And again, this is an on-spot improvisation. Now she will say the swaras and end on that point of the line. So I have to play the but in general I match her the same feel. So it has to end in the second speed. It has to end 6 swaras after the beat. Sa ni da ni da pa ga ma prema ni da pa ga ma, or ga is 2 there. Re sa ni da pa ma is 6, right? Re sa ni da pa ma prema or sa ni da pa ma prema. You delete 1 and sing 5. All that you have to do it on the fly. That in that instant you have to do it. You can't keep calculating what you have to sing 6 here, so I have to take 4 here. No, you can't do all that. So if I have to sing 5 after 1 beat, then 2 after 4 after 2 beats. No, you can't keep thinking all that. It has to come like that. Sa ni da pa ma prem. Sa ni da pa ma is 5. So if you have to sing 5 swaras, sa ni da pa ma, 1 after 1, sa ni da pa ma prem, pa ma ga ma prem, 1 2 pa ma ga ma pre, pa ma ga ma is 4 swarams. So you leave 2 and sing 4. Essentially it has to be 6 after the beat.
Dani sa sa ni dani sa ma ma ri sa sa ni dani ni da pa da ni ri sa ni da pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa sa ni da pa ma prema juji. Ma ga ma ma ni da ni pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga ma.
I don't know what she's going to sing for him. Just have to look at her. Here. These are the elements that go into a lot of exploration and swara singing. So in a concert we have different compositions, for which a few compositions we do improvise, a few compositions we just sing it like that. So, and all this while the percussion comes along, and the world of rhythm is extremely intricate in Carnatic music. And the Mridangam has its own language. It has its solfa syllables. And the Mridangam itself, it's a very interesting instrument, and it has multiple overtones. And this is a instrument again which has a high side and a bass side. The high side is tuned to the tambura or the shruti, and the percussion uses all these patterns to embellish this composition, to highlight different moods and different emotions of the composition. For example, if she is going to sing a very plaintive composition, so you all this while you heard how he played for a composition that is in medium pace, right? A composition that is slow paced and in a very plaintive mood. So as a very sensitive percussionist, he has to react to the music. It's not just keeping the tala measure or something like that. So he reacts in his mind, which means he has to sing in his mind before he reacts to the music. For example, ஒரு ப்ரோ மாப்ப This is a very plaintive composition of Shyama Shastri. So he's not even started still. Both the violinist and the percussion have been very sensitive now. Minimal playing, at the same time embellishing the song, embellishing the mood of the song. Completely reacts to the mood of the composition. If it's a fast-paced song, for example, Bhogindra
Shayinam Urukushaladayinam Bhogindra Shayinam Urukushaladayinam.
So he matches that kind of decibel. Also the pace of the gait of the song.
Kalita Nuti Sanyasi Bhajana Nuna Vida Sulanita Karamahitam Kalushahare Parisarujvala Madhitadi Kandita Shesha Durita Kalashodhavanvita Mahindra Kavara Malaya Jaleta Vinuttam Kalavamana Manchi Mata Kavar Makalita Kanchana Vimadala Sitam Padmaravam Bhogindra Shayinam.
So the mridangam actually makes or breaks in a kacheri. So because if it's going to be extremely insensitive, then the whole emotion of the composition is lost. The whole exercise, be it an extempore exercise, be it a rendering of a composition, everything is lost. And a very important element in a concert is the Tanyavartan, where the mridangam or the percussion wing plays the solo part, and the solo part again lines is a takeaway from a composition after she renders a long spell of Naral and Swarams. And he takes from there and he improvises on the structure of the tala, and he can change the gates as well. For example, if she were to sing a Swararaga Sudharasa, chuma korva padi mudi. This is Aditala in a double structure. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not a single 1, 2. It's not like that. 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It has 16 counts. Now here the takeoff point is after 2. 1, 2. Moola Raja Nadameru Gote. So if she takes this line for improvisation, she would have sung Naral and she would have sung a lot of swarams for this, and she would have completed that swara exercise like this. Now Arun will take from there and he will improvise on the. Now he is playing in fours, but he has, every time he finishes a pattern, he ends up with something called a korvai, which he plays 3 times, and the korvai has to land on the same position of the song, which means 1, 2, moola. He cannot land on the beat as moola like that. So that is a condition now. But he can improvise on the whole tala structure, and it's completely mathematical, and it's just not dry mathematics. It's coupled with a lot of aesthetic sense, and the chord-wise, the patterns, it's all play with. It's a huge world by itself. It's play with numbers, and the first initial round he plays in the same gate, which runs in 4s, in a count of 4s, called the Chatushragati. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The gate is like this now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's filling up all the intervals. So these solfa syllables that he plays are all defined by his bani, what his guru has taught him, the fingering techniques of the mridangam, all of that. This is a pattern, the first round that he is finishing with a pattern which he played 3 times. Then what he will do is, he will change the gate of the, but in the same pace though, the same tala. All this while he improvised on with 4 as the bass. Now I don't know what he's going to do. Now he's chosen to keep the bass as 5. Taka takita, taka takita, taka takita, taka takita. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. The tala is still the same. So the layering is on 5. He'll play another chord like this. So he has to land in the same place after 4. But the layering was 5 now. So this nadai is called khanda nadai. So you can either layer it like with 3s, which is called tishra nadai. The first, of course, was layering of 4, which is chatushra nadai. Now this is a layering of 5, which is khanda nadai. You can layer it with 7 vash. I can't even say the 7. I can't even think. This is Mishra Nadai. But whatever he plays, he has to land there properly. Like that. And he can layer it with 9 as well. That is called Sankirna Nadai. These are the prime nadais that he can play. Then after he plays a nadai or changing of the gate, he comes back to the 4s and he plays what is called the faran part of it, which is kind of playing it with intricate. Then he plays what is called a mathematical pattern called mora, that is played thrice, and he ends that mora with a korvai or again a mathematical pattern thrice, and end of the 3rd time the song is taken. So that completes the Taniyavartanam or the solo portion of the percussionist in a concert. So he'll finish the Taniyavartanam with a mora and korvai. So normally, how do you get to know he is finishing? You will find the violinist taking up the violin and taping. This is the mora. This is the korvai that we play thrice. First time. Second time. Third time. So that finishes a very major part of the concert. So after this, you sing what is called a ragam, tanam, and a pallavi. Tanam is a semi-rhythmic structure, and pallavi is again sung with a lot of Naral and swarams. And even in the swarams, we have a lot of mathematical patterns that can be sung. So that is a huge exercise and a very complicated exercise as well. It's very interesting because The world of math is so vast and endless. And you try to incorporate all that in your swara singings. And what we do is you can even change ragas. In the Ragam Tanam Pallavi section, you have the liberty to change ragas, not as in kritis that we do. So you can change ragas, you can sing raga malika swarams, you can change ragas. And after the Ragam Tanam Pallavi, you sing very lilting pieces such as sometimes the padam. The padam is a very erotic Shringara piece. It's a very classic piece. And Javali again a very light paced Shringara piece again. Some shlokams are sung. Lilting verses set to music are normally rendered. And sometimes we borrow from other genres as well. We sing bhajans, we sing abhangas, we can sing Bengali songs and also that. So Carnatic music is all embracing, and normally we end the concert with a prayer for world peace, which is called the Mangalam. And before we end, this is just a bird's eye view of what happens in a concert. And to understand more deeply, the only recommendation is listen to more concerts. You don't need to like dissect every portion of it and see microscopically what happens. You just be alive to the experience of the concert, and once you start listening to more concerts, you will very, very easily understand what happens in a concert, and you will start relating to it. And thank you all for being here. We can take a few questions we can take a few questions before we finish. I can provide answers only if I know them. Yeah. Could you chill that?
So I learned Hindustani music.
Yeah.
So my question is
Chill that man.
gamaka versus Vikrut swara. So if you have like a komal re or something. So how do you, I guess is it the same thing? Like when you sing, like for us it's like, okay, this has a komalri and komalga, whatever. That, how is that different from gamaka? Or is it the same thing?
No, it's the same thing. Komal re is the kind of re, that's all.
Okay.
See, that re ga can take varieties.
Yes.
Okay. It can be sa re, or it can be sa re, or it can be sa re. So similarly, sa ga, it can be ga like that, or sa ga. So these are different varieties of the same note. Ma, ma. Similarly for da and ni. Pa and sa do not have varieties. So these are basic varieties, the positions of the swaras. But with gamakas, it depends on how the raga defines it. If, for example, in South India, in Carnatic music, the note is Shuddha Madhyama. Ma, right? So, technically, if you say, oh, this is Shuddha Madhyama, that is just not enough. Because a raga like Begada, for example, Begada will demand this type of ma. Mari sa, gamada mari, mari sa. Now I am not singing mari sa, right? Neither I am singing pari sa. I am not singing that also. I am singing gamada mari, mari sa. That defines Begada. So that ma is somewhere between ga and pa, and I have to sing it like this. So I have to understand this sound very carefully. I just have to replicate that sound. If I have to sing Begada, I must understand this. The Madhyama, the Shodha Madhyama takes such a contour. Unless I understand that, I will never sing Begada. The same Shuddha Madhyama. Pa, ma, ga, ma, ri, in Sahana. Na, 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 ri, ta, na, 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 ri, ri, ta, na, na, na. This is Sahana. This can never be Begada. I cannot come and say ta na ta na na ni ri. I can't sing like this, which means I have not understood two ragas now. I have not understood Begada. I have not understood Sahana. So it is what kind of contour each swara takes that defines the raga. It's same as in Hindustani. So the pakat defines the raga. So a few ragas have the same swaras, but where it lands, does it land on Re or does it land on Ga, defines the raga. Like that. Chandra. Yeah.
The Konakol. Yeah, you want to demonstrate me. Tadim, takatadim. You want the basics? Okay. Ta, ti.
These are basic syllables.
Tum,
which.
Some of the most basic syllables. Ta, ti, tum, nam.
How is it played? Ta is played like this. He is a left-handed player. There are people who play with the right hand. So, ti, tum, nam. These are the basic syllables. So
then you have, it's called
ki, ta, ta, ka is played like this. So different speeds. Ki, ta, ta, ka.
then
That sound.
tom sound.
There's a specific positioning as well.
It's called ara chop. Ara chop. This is smooth chop. Actually, the name is misleading. You may think this is smooth chop. No. This is ara chop. Mulu chop is exactly opposite. Then
The bass side.
all the bass gumuki. It may like this. It may like this. Then
So all the mathematical patterns and the chorways are all actually written with these syllables. Or chorway chollitu vashi. So initially the student has to say the chorway, then only play the mridangam.
Tat takitatum, tatikitatum tam. Dit takitatum, tatikitatum tam. Takitatum, tatikitatum, takitatum, tatikitatum, takitatum, tatikitatum ta. So this I'll play just.
So that's how it translates into.
I'm also curious to hear the Sankirna.
So now he is going to layer the Sankirna Nadai or 9/4. The tala is in Chatushragati. So which means 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. This is the underlying gate. So see how it changes. 3, 4. Taddikittatu, taddikittatu. Taddikittatu, taddikittatu is a count of 9. 9 is split as 4 and 5 now. So you don't hear now 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You don't hear it like that, right? So it's so these are all mathematical, the arithmetic, the magic of math that happens in the mridangam.
Any more questions?
Yes. You have to be. Can you be a bit louder, please? Yes. Tillana vaashikache eppadi vaashikkanum? Specific structures vaashikkanuma illa Naral vaashikkanum?
You have to mix both. You have to mix both. You have to play the Tillana as such. At the same time, you have your own freedom to play how you embellish the Tillana. Both has to be in a very balanced way. That will come with experience. You have to play.
You have to know the Tillana to
yes,
play
you have to
better.
Completely.
Otherwise, it's very. For example, Kamas Tillana padu.
Tam 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 udani tom tananam.
So you have to.
I'll play two types now for these two lines. Okay.
Tam 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 udani tom tananam tadaradi nadrudadi tanana tam 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 udani tom tananam tadaradi nadrudadi tanana tam 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 udani tom tananam tadaradi nadrudadi tanana tam 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 udani tom tananam tadaradi nadrudadi tanana tam 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 udani tom tananam.
Now here, while he knows the Tillana, he's not playing it exactly like that. He is playing in a way that embellishes it more. Can you see that? Yeah.